right, welcome to our third session, our last session for today. The third topic will be the role of logistics in driving online to offline ecosystem. And it is with great pleasure I would like to invite Ms. Jamie Ko, Director of Regional Public Affairs and Policy, Grab. So welcome, Ms. Jamie Ko.
Thank you very much, Denny. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jamie, and I currently head the Regional Public Affairs team at Grab. Thank you, everyone in the audience, as well as participants on Zoom, for tuning in to this presentation. And of course, thank you to Ministry of Commerce, Department of International Trade Promotion, for inviting me to do a sharing today on this topic. So my presentation today will be about the role of logistics in driving online to offline ecosystem. I'll be sharing about 3 parts. Firstly, an introduction to the online to offline ecosystem and how it's driven by the platform economy. I will then share some of Grab's experience and learnings in the sector. And finally, I'll wrap up with challenges ahead and how we can overcome them together. I'll leave probably about 5-10 minutes towards the end to see in case anyone has any questions. Okay, let me begin. So I think all of us know about Southeast Asia's digital economy growing at a very rapid pace. In fact, this is a forecast from 2019 before COVID. And actually, just recently, there was a revision on the forecast for the industry to grow even further. I think all of us recognize that during COVID, a lot of us became a lot more comfortable going online. So there's a lot more potential in the digital economy. So what are online to offline platforms then? So I'll refer to them as O2O in short. So this is a diagram from the Platform Economy report done by the Tech for Good Institute. This basically lays out different platform companies in various industries that help connect the physical world and the digital world together. So how this is unique from just purely digital companies is that you need both digital infrastructure as well as physical infrastructure to operate. Platforms then connect businesses together with consumers and fulfill it with logistics. So the O2O platforms have actually brought several benefits and opportunities to stakeholders in the ecosystem. So these are just some impact numbers that the Tech for Good Institute report also highlights. For example, for consumers, I'm sure all of you know that you have a lot more options these days. When you log onto a platform, you're seeing businesses, services, and products that you typically wouldn't encounter. We're also seeing benefits to MSMEs, micro SMEs, who are now able to reach a far wider audience than they typically were able to in the past before platforms. And this means they are also having greater productivity. One last part is also new livelihood and earnings opportunities being created, because in order to connect the online to the offline, we need people to fulfill the last mile logistics. And we see in the case of Grab, this data point is from Grab, actually more than 46% of Grab driver and delivery partners in the region, they actually didn't work and have an income prior to taking up work on the Grab platform. So these are really some opportunities that have come up. But beyond that, we are also seeing benefits in the ecosystem, for example, in the payments and financial services space. More than 70% of digital lending users previously did not have access to loans. And we're very happy that through the driving of the platform economy, there's more financial inclusion and access to financial services. There's also accelerated investment in the logistics infrastructure space. As you can see, quite a significant amount of investment in the e-commerce logistics space. And finally, something that I think is quite close to my heart is about how technology in the platform economy has driven and built the tech ecosystem further. There are more than 1,000 startups who are founded by people who used to be from the first generation Southeast Asian platforms. So this is really a wide range of benefits that have reached various stakeholders in the ecosystem as the platform economy, O2O platform economy, has grown. So connecting back to COVID, like I mentioned earlier, the COVID pandemic has made everyone a lot more comfortable making purchases online. I think in the past, people who didn't think of going online to buy something, order food, it's definitely something that is second nature to them now. In fact, people's expectations have also increased. More often than not, you want things faster now. You want something almost immediately and instantly. And the reality is, to fulfill this, increase expectations is actually really challenging. Firstly, it's expensive, because if you want to be able to deliver something almost instantly, a business needs to have access to a large delivery fleet that's placed in many places, because you don't know where a customer is ordering something from and wants it delivered. It's especially tough for small businesses to be able to get access to such a service. And this is challenging if we want to allow small businesses to play a bigger role and be able to participate in the digital economy. What's needed is basically a marketplace to be able to aggregate demand across smaller businesses, more businesses, so that they can share a flexible delivery fleet that can then provide this last mile service to get order from a physical place delivered to a consumer who might have purchased it online. So I'll just then make a pivot right now after I introduced about the online to offline economy and the role of platforms. And I want to then share a little bit about Grab's experience in some of our services and how we then bring more participants into the O2O economy. So starting off with a little bit of context about Grab, for those who are not familiar. Grab is Southeast Asia's leading super app, and our company's mission is to drive economic empowerment across Southeast Asia. We currently operate in 8 markets in Southeast Asia. We also offer services across 4 different verticals. Firstly, in mobility, in deliveries, in financial services, as well as enterprise and new initiatives. Just a sense of the impact that we're trying to grow in Southeast Asia. There are more than 32 million monthly transacting users ordering products, services via our platform. So this means that more than 32 million people are able to access the digital economy through the Grab platform. More than 9 million driver and merchant partners are also making a living by earning income on Grab's platform. 2 more data points that are really close to my heart. Firstly, more than 2,100 persons with disabilities are earning a living on the Grab platform. And I'm very heartened by this because the reality is traditional employment models may not be suitable and easily accessible to persons with disabilities. So I'm really glad that we are providing an opportunity for them to earn an income. Secondly, more than 680,000 small merchant partners joined the Grab platform in 2021, which represents an increase compared to the previous year. And this is really great because, like I shared earlier on, the goal is really to help more people, more businesses, be able to participate in the growing digital economy. And it was previously talked about how challenging it is for smaller businesses. So it's a great thing that we're getting more and more smaller businesses online. In total, $8.9 billion is actually earned by collectively our driver and merchant partners through our platform. And you can really see the potential of creating economic empowerment across the ecosystem with the platform economy that Grab has been growing. So for today's sharing of examples, I'm going to be focusing on Grab's deliveries ecosystem with 3 services. Firstly, GrabFood, which is a system that connects consumers to restaurants to order their favorite food and have it delivered to them. Second, GrabMart, which is a platform similar to GrabFood, but instead of ordering from restaurants, we're ordering from stores on everyday goods. And finally, it's a Grab Express, which is an on-demand logistics service to deliver things. So just before I go into the examples, I want to lay out the context of how different parts of the ecosystem come together. So as a starting point, Grab invests in building a user-friendly app for consumers to go to access different kinds of products and services on the platform. When I talk about app, it's not just a little tile you see on your smartphone. There's a lot of other peripheral services and operations that go behind supporting this convenient experience for consumers. For example, things like customer service, things like convenient payment modes. There are many, many things that go behind providing this convenient experience for a customer to want to access. Next, then we have the merchant side of the equation, where we then invest in process and tools to help support merchants get onto the digital platform. These include things like helping them with marketing, reaching out with promotions so that customers can learn about the new products that they offer, ranging to things like helping to find a delivery partner to pick up the order. there are so many different things and processes we have to put together to make it easy for the merchants to go onto the platform and connect their services from the physical world to the digital world. Finally, there is the part of building the flexible fleet to deliver that last mile, bringing the good to the consumer. And that's where we need to invest in technology and operations in order to enable that. Let me first start off by sharing a little bit of our learnings on the merchant side. So the first example I want to share is from Singapore. So this is about the GrabFood Hawker Centre 2.0 project. So just for a little bit of context on hawker centres, in Singapore, these are kind of like food centres with little stalls, many different hawker stalls, and each of them are run by typically 1 to 2 people. And so usually a small business and very busy, mainly with food preparation, relying primarily on people who dine in, and maybe in some cases also do takeaways. So these hawker centres actually really suffered a lot during COVID because people had to stay at home, people were not going to work, there were movement restrictions. And so then the challenge we had was, how can we potentially bring hawker centres online? And that was how this project was born. And so we have developed a system which comprises of course, technology and processes, operational processes together, to allow a consumer, when they log on to the Grab app, access a hawker centre and look through the different kind of hawker stalls that exist in the same hawker centre. So for the consumer, you can browse as if you're shopping in a hawker centre, choose many different items from different stalls, and then just have them all delivered in one delivery fee. I think one challenge we did notice about bringing hawkers online is that they often don't have enough capacity to be able to do this online shift. So, like I mentioned earlier, usually it's 1 to 2 people who are mending the stall, and so they are busy with food preparation. So we then work with a partner called YQ to see how they can support bringing hawkers online, helping them upload their menus and things like that. So I actually have a video to showcase one of the hawker center merchants who is now on GrabFood, and he can share a little bit about what benefits and what he's learned from the journey. So can I get the help of the team to show the video, please? Thank you.
First and foremost, I love chicken. Over the years, I developed this knowledge and skills to develop product that I think I love it, and after giving to people, I think they will love it. So I developed this all about chicken with this concept, cook to order. So people can get it fresh, piping hot. And so far I think I managed on that aspect because getting reviews from the customers, this is what they said about my product. It's fresh, it's convenience because of the delivery. Previous experience, I think for about 30 years I'm in this F&B. Previously I was with one of the big boys, fast food chain. I left them I think about 12 years ago. With a group of friends, we have developed another brand. And we did manage to franchise out even to KL. I ran the operation in Singapore. My biggest challenge is going to the customers. Because as you know, in retail, we talk about location. But now, it's no more about location. Now is you going to the customer. When we do delivery business, the big challenge is this. How do we do it? The manpower, the logistics, it's no joke. So, we somehow rather close that company because of all these challenges. But when Grab came into the picture with this delivery platform, I'm so eager now because I know, this is the help that I need. So because of that, I created this brand that was in 2018. One thing I like about Grab is they continue to upgrade their apps. There's a lot of new features coming in, and I tell you, sometimes when they upgrade it, and I think after getting feedback, they just delete it off. That means they are hearing us. Example, the sales insight. The sales insight will tell you how much you are making, you have to track, and from there you can see the trend. And this trend will help you to project in terms of your manpower. So you don't have out of stock condition, you don't have not enough manpower condition. And also it will help you with the promotion. For example, if you look at the return customers, maybe you need to entice them. You need to make them aware, okay, that you got new product, so on and so forth. All these numbers are important to us, okay, in terms of performance. Yeah, in terms of sales, transaction, customers. All these are important because we need to know our business, and knowing our business is knowing all these numbers. Yeah, on top of the profit and loss. You keep on doing the same thing, you get the same result. Yeah, so change is constant, inevitable. You have to do this. Okay, like I said just now, previously you get customers to come to you. Now you have to go to the customer. Okay, this is what they want. Their need is convenient. Yeah, hopefully one day this will be a household name, all about chicken, because they know it's fresh.
And merchants are unable to make that switch at a very short notice. So now that when we're actually, I guess, entering a new normal and we do have some space to plan and transition, it's important to then think about your business model. Do you only want to have everything offline? Or actually, to be future-proof and pandemic-proof, might be better to start planning to have a part of your business online, and therefore what are the changes you might make in order to be able to accommodate for that.
But those are the challenges too, because some merchants might also say, oh, but it's so hard to use the application. It's easier to just do it, offline. What do you have to say for merchants who are a bit more apprehensive to go online? They also might say that, well, Grab charges us too much. I think we should just do it offline. What do you have to say to those merchants?
Yeah, I think one thing is really to approach it with empathy as well, because understanding what are the challenges they face and what are the roadblocks that prevent them from feeling comfortable being able to afford going online. And the question is then addressing these root causes, because there's clearly something preventing them from getting there, and it's about how we as a society can work with them to that. It's not just going to be Grab alone, potentially with the public sector together as well. If we look at some of the examples and schemes that we have done in other countries during COVID, a number of them actually involved us partnering with the government as well to help support the merchants to go online, especially for those for the first time.
Okay, so more advice to the merchants to try to go online and see if they can sell online. Do you have any suggestions for those of you, for those in the audience who might not know about Grab? I mean, the merchants, what could they do? I mean, the initial step. Download the application, and how do they register? Or is it very straightforward? How would they do that?
So I think there are various options in different markets and schemes to help support first-time merchants going online.
Yeah, first-timers.
So I would definitely encourage, depending on which country you're located in, look up whether there are any schemes to support you going online. For example, in Singapore, there is a Grab Merchant Support Center, where you have an option to either get support digitally online or physically going in somewhere. So there are various options that we try to tailor depending on the needs of local merchants as well. So in every market.
Thailand as well, or?
I'll need to find out a little bit more.
Okay.
But I think that's the goal of what we want to do, which is to understand the local needs, what local merchants need, and then tailor programs to then support them best, and also in the same time work with partners who may be able to best complement the efforts.
Well, is there anything else you would like to suggest to our merchants or to users, especially in Thailand? Is there a specific option or something that you might think users will find to be very interesting in the application right now? Maybe a new promotion or something new in the application you would like to elaborate on?
I think across our different markets, there usually would be some part in the application that highlights some of the local small merchants, local heroes. And I think if you want to be able to support some of the merchants, do keep a lookout for that. Because I think the smaller businesses going online, I think it can be quite intimidating for them. So if we are able to show the support that we can, I think that would be great.
What is the main challenge of door-to-door shipping in the Southeast Asian market? The main challenge for door-to-door?
So I guess I'll just comment on the last mile delivery, which Grab is mainly involved in. I would say the challenge is right now, I think, finding the right economics and balance of being able to deliver the service at the right price with sustainable economics, like I talked about earlier. Because to be able to deliver this last mile, door-to-door type of service, it's quite expensive unless you find the right scale and the right model, and you can optimize with the right allocation algorithm to be efficient. So this is something that I think the industry is trying to still work and improve on to be able to get there.
Okay. I think one more question. How the logistics service provider, I think that would be you, could adapt to business, the door-to-door business express. Any suggestions to that?
So I think for us, what's important is really to understand the needs of the people who require the service. And for example, if we look at the example I shared earlier on in the Philippines, it's really about if the users of the Grab Express service need other support in growing their business to overcome the hurdles to effectively use the last mile logistics service, then we can see how else as an ecosystem we can support them. Because only when you help the merchants succeed will there be a demand for the last mile logistics. So that's, I think, one thing is really keeping in mind what are the needs, what are the hurdles, and roadblocks so that we can unblock them together as an ecosystem.
And I think you elaborated on helping the hawker center as well in Singapore. Is there any plans to do that here in Thailand, or you sort of have like a network going on right now here in Thailand?
I think there are different similar programs to help small businesses, but done in a slightly different way across different markets based on the needs as well. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you to Jamie Ko for a very interesting session. Thank you again. ขอบคุณครับ. Thank you.
Thank you.